It always takes a minute. Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Ornaments Decor. I am live with you guys today in a few different places. Hopefully this live stream is broadcasting into the Jingle and Mingle group. So if you can see me and hear me okay, let me know. I'm going to be painting one of our ornaments from our 2025 ornament set. And this is the full set right here. So every year we come out with a new set of these beautiful handmade ornaments. It's a kit that you can buy. It comes with all the wood pieces for the project. There's 4 pieces to each ornament, so 16 wood pieces total. It also comes with a video that walks you through how to paint them, how to assemble them, how to pour the resin. And it comes with a 2-ounce blister pack of resin. So it's a one-time use package of resin, perfectly measured for all 4 ornaments. So you're not going to have to try to figure out how much resin you need. That little packet is the perfect amount. So once you get your set, you're going to unbox it. You're going to have all these pieces. One ornament is not here in my little wood blank stack. I've already painted it, but I have these 3 of the set that I haven't painted yet. So I think we're going to do my one of my favorites. It's the one with the sled. And I really like this one because once you put it together, the sled really looks dimensional. I'm holding it up here because I'm also live on TikTok right now. If you're watching in the Jingle and Mingle group, say hello. Let me know you're here. Right now, I'm still not seeing any comments on there. So hopefully it will refresh itself. Let me see if I can pull it up in a different window and see. I see some folks over here on the Southern Adornments page. Hey, Lori. Hello, Joanne and Angel. Crystal's here. She said, I have a question. When were we supposed to get resin in the virtual kits? Not this year. No. In years past, we have sent resin in our virtual kits. But the tricky thing about it is the amount of resin that you need for the virtual kits. She's talking about SA Live, our big conference that's happening next week. The amount of resin that you need for those projects is less than one of those blister packs. And so it doesn't make sense for us to send an entire blister pack to you if you're not going to be able to use it all on the project. So you're really only going to need 1 ounce of resin. So if you have resin on hand, just mix up 1 ounce for the project that Cindy Manley is teaching. Okay, I can see comments now on a separate screen. So let me pull this up and I can see it there. Miss Tracy from Miss Tracy Creates just wrapped up her tutorial over on the Jingle Mingle group. And then after me at 1 p.m. Central is going to be Miss Pam Coxwell. So y'all be sure to stick around and watch her next. All right, let's get busy crafting. If you haven't gotten one of these kits yet, I'm going to drop the link to the kits in the video description for you. If you're watching on YouTube, it's already in the video description, or Facebook. Hold on, let me type something. And if you're watching on TikTok, I've got it pinned to the bottom of the screen. Let me see if I can pin this comment. Will it let me? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, yes, it will. There we go. There's the kit right there, pinned at the bottom. Hey, Connie, welcome in. Hello, Bet and Christine. Hello, Brenda and Deanna. Hello, Gail and Sandy. If any of you guys don't know me, I normally teach door hanger painting, which is much larger. I actually taught this one on Facebook and YouTube yesterday, and we sell large wood cutouts like this in our shop. We have like 1,500 designs to choose from. And so if you ever want to get into door hanger painting, you can go and watch tons of videos and binge those on my YouTube channel. But once a year, we do something super fun, which is paint these little bitty ornaments because they're just so satisfying. I'm going to give you one more quick close-up look at these ornaments before we move along, because they are just stunning once they're painted and put together and you put the resin in them. This is not anything you can buy at store. Hallmark ain't got nothing on these ornaments. I mean, if I take these with me to an ornament exchange party, everybody's like, oh, did you make those? Because they are so beautiful and impressive in person. And they're one of a kind for sure. All right, I'm going to set these to the side and we're just going to focus on this one right here. So I'm going to zoom in for those of y'all so you can really see. And there's 4 layers. So we have the sky, we have the trees with the elf, we have part of the sled and the other part. So let's just start from the back and work our way forward. We're going to start with the sky, and I'm going to be using Royal Navy. Don't worry, you're not going to have to remember all of these colors. I have them linked on the supply list for you, so all you have to do is grab and go. drop a comment and let me know who got their ornament kit this past week. We have already sold over 400 kits this past week. We just released them on September 16th. So they've only been out, how many days is that? Like 9 days now, and we've already sold over 400. These will sell out. So if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. Go ahead and grab them, because these are kind of like limited edition. I don't know if we will have the capacity to make more kits this year. The very first year we came out with them, I think we made 500 kits. They sold out. We did end up making, I think 300 more. And then we still have some from last year. So if you miss out on this year's, we still have some from 2024 that you can get, because we made way too many in 2024. So, but next year we won't be making more of the 2025. At least I don't think we will. Rita got hers. Crystal can't wait to do her ornaments. She said, I put mine in individual baggies and then all in a large baggie so I don't mix them up. I get it. It can be a little confusing at late, like after you get to painting them, like which piece goes with which. TikTok, if you're watching and I miss a comment, I am so sorry. So I'm trying to keep up with all the comments in all the places. Hey, Denise, over on the Jingle and Mingle. Can I post a link for my glasses? Yeah, I'll drop that in the comments for you. They're called Pear Eyewear. So they have these little toppers that pop off the front. And they're great. I really love them. I've got so many cute toppers. Waiting for your kits to be delivered. What does the back side look like? Just it's plain. There's nothing on the back. So once you glue them all together, you're good. I did put like glitter and red paint on mine. And then I initialed the back. Gail said there are 4. If so, that would be cool. I have 4 grandkids. Yeah, you could leave 1 to each grandkid. That would be so special. Angie said her kit came today. Hey, Renee. All right, let's start painting some details on this second ornament. I'm going to try to move quickly here. That way we get, through to the end. I probably won't be able to get to the resin part of the process today, but that part is on video in the kit. So, I mean, this part is too, painting the ornaments. So, you can kind of walk through all of this with me step by step when you get your kit. This is just a demo painting today. If you want to see the resin portion of this tutorial and kind of see how it works, go back and watch the video that I did a week ago Tuesday. I think I have it pinned at the top of my Facebook page, and I show how to pour the resin in the ornament, and we kind of do that together live. We'll put some snow down here. I'm going to go ahead and just paint over that little elf's feet instead of painting around them. I can still see those laser etched lines through the paint, so don't you worry. And if you're worried about like, I'm not a very good painter, any of those in the comments? If you're worried that you're not a very good painter, these are so small and so many of the details overlap one another that you're not going to notice some little imperfections. It's going to be really beautiful when you're done. Crystal says, I need to get some gloves before I can do mine with the resin. That's a good idea. Angela says, hey, I'm getting excited for SA Live next week. I have a question. I know the virtual attendees will have access to a replay. Will in person? Yes, replay gets everything virtual gets. If you don't know what SA Live is, that's our in-person crafting conference. It's happening next week in Destin, Florida. You can find out more about that at southernadornamentslive.com. We're going to be selling tickets to our 2026 event starting October the 5th. And we'll be announcing when and where that's going to be on the second day of the event. So I'm super excited. Mary Lou, the kits are $65. They come with the resin and the video tutorials that you need. I have it linked and pinned right there in the comments for you. Let's put another coat. There's like a little hair in my paint. Anybody ever have that happen? Like a little fuzz. Drives me bananas. Do you have classes where you can learn to paint? I've got to put my hand here so I can read this. I'm really interested in learning to make sign. Yeah, actually, if you want to go through one of my courses over on my website, southernadornamentsdecor.com, at the top, there's a button that says Learn with Me. Click that, and there is a $17 workshop you can take. It's called Paint Your First Door Hanger Workshop. And so that'll kind of walk you through that sort of thing. And you can kind of pick, there's like 3 different designs you can choose from for that project, and you can paint along with me. I also do workshops twice a year, and I have a membership, and inside the membership we paint together every month. But I have tons of free videos over on my YouTube channel. So you can start by picking a video on the YouTube channel, look in the description, grab the wood blank if you need, and you can paint right along with me. Hey, Kalitas, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you. Okay, what other questions do we have? I'm trying to track the comments and paint at the same time. Hey, Teresa, thank you. Vicky says, this is my third year to paint 4 sets. I do one for me, one for my daughter, one for my granddaughter, and one for my second granddaughter. I think each year I've painted roughly a dozen of these sets. So it takes me on average about 2 hours per set. So roughly 30 minutes per ornament. But I'm usually doing like 12 sets at one time. I sit down to do these as gifts for Christmas. And so my desk, I have to clear off everything on my desk, and I've got all the pieces laid out, and I'm like batch painting to get these all done. And it will take me hours to do all of these, but I usually binge something on Netflix and get caught up on a lot of that stuff. So it's kind of fun. It's therapeutic. Let's add some little, hang on, let me make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing here. There we go. Let's add some little snow to the edges of these trees. Just do a little, keep just very little white on your brush, and just do kind of like this on those little edges. Pretend you're Bob Ross. Dab, dab, dab. This is just a little flat tip brush. I'm just barely letting the edges of it touch on here. And look how that made those little trees look. Happy little trees. Bob would be so proud of us. If y'all like Bob Ross. He's like the guru of painting. It's hard to stop because it's fun. I want to keep putting more snow on there. You got your glue gun for SA Live. You need some ornaments. Angela says, planning on getting my ornaments at SA Live to add to my other 2 sets. Ladies, they are gorgeous when they completely are, when they're completed. Definitely something to get each year. Yeah. This is our 3rd year doing them. Last year's, actually, I've got last year's sitting here. So if you still want to get the 2024 ones, here's last year's set. The actual tutorial has black and white around the outside, but this is another set that I made for myself with green and gold. And so they feature like Santa kissing Mrs. Claus, kids sitting in front of the fireplace, whoops, boy hanging an ornament on a tree, and so on. So there's different, oh, here's one that's black and white. This one doesn't have resin. So you can see that they look completely different without the resin. They're not nearly as durable, but you could still hang them on the tree like this. So if you like this look better, that's an option. I have a couple of them sitting here from our 2023 set. Here's 2 of them from the 2023 set. They were kind of like outdoor scenes. So there was a truck, some ice skaters, a snowman, and a house. These are no longer available. However, y'all are gonna flip, for those of y'all who've been watching me and keeping up with stuff. Michael told me, Michael's my husband, he told me that he was cleaning up in the loft yesterday out in the shop, and he found 7 full kits from 2023. I was like, are you kidding me? I've been telling people for weeks now, there are no more 2023s. We are sold out. All we have are these little like singles. I said, I'm going to make you come on camera and give a public like PSA statement apology to all these people who thought we were completely out of them. We found 7 sets. Crystal says, Whatnot? So does Donna. Yeah, I'm going to be live on Whatnot tonight. I do plan on selling 1 set during each Whatnot sale that I do. I've got several Whatnot sales booked from here through November. So I'm going to sell 1 on each Whatnot sale. Maybe 2 if we start to like get further toward Christmas. I might sell them quicker, but I'll sell at least 1 tonight, and I cannot believe it. 1 full set from 2023. I was about ready to skin him. I'm like, you've been telling me, and I've been telling people we're out of 2023 because that's how coveted they are. I mean, they've become like a collector's item, and just like playing cards or anything else that people collect, like if you can't get it, then you're like seeking it, and you're out like looking like, is anybody selling a set or something? And people have been nuts over them, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to feel like McDonald's Happy Meal toys or something, like limited edition. You got to get them now because that's what makes it really fun, right? And it makes it a collector's item. I'm just adding little details to this little elf here. I'm trying to like look at my picture or my completed one here, kind of as an example, and add his little details. Any questions over on TikTok? Sorry if I missed a question. Y'all may have to Recomment it. You're in Paducah. You would definitely love to learn to paint. Well, I'm in Benton, Kentucky. You're real close. Hey, Cletus. Let's see. What other comments? I was making sure I didn't miss any questions. I think I got them all. If I missed one on TikTok, feel free to re-ask. Okay, what else is white on here? I think that's it. But there is a little bit of white on this bow, and then I may have to do that afterwards. We'll paint the sled first. The most tedious part of this ornament set is probably this little elf's clothing. It's so tiny. Do you ever just want to paint each set different? Oh, yeah, Crystal. That's why last year I painted some of them like this. I did a set with like teal around the outside, one with black and white. I think we did gold. I've got multiple versions of the 2023 set. Because I was doing like 12 different ones, I gave each one kind of a different vibe. And that almost made it harder when I was batch painting because it didn't go nearly as fast. I was having to concentrate like, okay, what colors does this one get? So I don't do that every year, but I have been tempted to like paint one set one year, like almost monochromatic, kind of like pink and white and silver, or, you know, shades of blue and teal. I don't know. I'm tempted to do that, but I haven't done it yet. Or to do one year, almost kind of like in candy colors, like pastels. I think that could be really fun. I have seen some people paint these little ornament sets too with paint markers. So if, painting these with paint and a brush and doing something so tiny makes you nervous, you could use paint markers. Don't forget to paint his other cuff red. Thank you. Lisa, I can always count on you to notice the little details. We kind of have a joke going because Lisa always catches the little, what color? Oh, hang on. I couldn't figure out if his little knickers were green or red. They're green going all the way down. And there's like a little yellow cuff at the bottom. But yeah, Lisa's always really good to be like, hey, you missed this little spot. She's got an eye for detail. I do not. Let me tell you, I don't. Details stress me out. Yeah, pastels I think would be really cute. Gail says, I got all 4 of the 2023, one at a time on Whatnot. Other questions, comments? Cindy said, oh dear, my credit card's going to be in trouble from the Whatnot sale tonight. Yes. Somebody said, what is Whatnot? I'm going to drop a comment. That way Patty can get the link to Whatnot. And if any of you guys need it, it'll be down here in the comments on the Jingle Mingle group. If you're watching on Facebook, you can comment Whatnot and it will send you the link to my Whatnot channel. Whatnot is a separate app outside of Facebook that where you can auction off things. So we auction off door hanger blanks and craft goodies and all kinds of stuff. And it has become a really fun part of my business. So it's outside of Facebook. It's something completely separate and fun and different. You have to download the app. If you use my referral link that I just dropped in there for Patty, it will give you $15 credit towards your first purchase on Whatnot if you haven't downloaded the app before. And just be warned, Whatnot can be highly addictive. So if you have a gambling addiction, don't even download it. Some of you probably didn't know you had a gambling addiction until you started purchasing wood blanks from me on Whatnot. It's kind of been kind of funny. I went live on Whatnot last Thursday night, and I was going to cancel this week's Whatnot because we are so busy prepping for SA Live that I was like, I don't know that I can fit it in. And some of the ladies were like, no, don't cancel. So we made time for it because you guys asked us to. But we appreciate you guys continuing to show up over there. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Sheila was like, I get paid on Wednesday. You can't cancel. Gail says it would be cool to do a giveaway, one ornament and not a set. I'll consider that. We are doing a giveaway here on the Jingle Mingle group. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, there's a Facebook group called Jingle and Mingle where we're going live every hour crafting. After me at 1 p.m. is Pam Coxwell. We are doing a mega giveaway. One person is going to win all the prizes. So if you have not entered that giveaway yet, go up to the link in the video description. I linked it for you to make it easy and enter that giveaway because every presenter today is giving away a prize. My prize is one of the 2024 ornament sets. So if you're entered in that giveaway, you might just win one. Okay, I'm taking yellow and doing the teeniest, tiniest little details on his outfit. I'm doing yellow dots on the bells, yellow belt, yellow cuffs at the bottom of his pants. And then I think that might be all the yellow on this one. I need to touch up the green on his little knickers where I painted over the white. It didn't cover very good. So let me do another coat real quick on that. Doesn't take long to paint tiny things. For me anyway. I feel like it's really fast. I'm a fast painter anyways, though. Yes, the ornament kits will be at SA Live. Sheila, oh, Teresa, that's so sweet. She said she's the best teacher. I love the ornaments. I do 4 sets. I appreciate you saying that. Cindy said, how do you get all the stuff to SA Live? Do you guys drive it all there? No, well, we have driven it in the past, but now we load everything up on pallets and wrap it in like plastic wrap and we freight it down there. So a local trucking company is going to pick it all up and hand deliver it in a freight truck down there to Destin, Florida for us from Kentucky. So that's great. I need black and gold to finish off some details on this. We're almost done with this little guy, and then we still have to paint like our sled over here. I felt like I was already used up most of my time, but it's only 12:22. We're doing great on time. I'm gonna try to do the teeniest details on his face, like a dot for his eyes, a smile. Those little details are tiny. It's almost like you need to paint with one width of a hair or an extra fine paint pen. Okay, now for the gold. We also need to do gold on our stars of our night sky. I'm using all Deco Art Americana paints, Kathy. Deco Art Americana. I have all of them linked in the supply list. So if you buy the kit, it's pinned down at the bottom. You'll have all the color. You'll have the color list on the supply list and a link to the video. Crystal says it is addicting. Talking about whatnot. A gingerbread set. Joanne, that is on my like radar. I thought a gingerbread theme might be fun. I also thought like a Christmas in the countryside kind of theme, like with a church, maybe a covered barn. Not a covered barn, like a barn, a covered bridge. Like, what do y'all think about that? Drop comments and tell me what theme you should think I should do next year. Give me some ideas. Okay, I did little gold dots on his bells. They're so tiny. And then I'm going to do, and I've got the tiniest little brush here. I'm just going to do little dots of gold for our stars. This is such a tiny detail. Like, you can see them in the background, but don't fret over getting them perfect. It's just a little accent. Any questions on TikTok? I was trying to keep up, but they move along pretty fast, and sometimes I miss them. So I apologize if I've missed any. Okay. The barn in the church idea, gingerbread. Crystal says, between you and Cotton Chaos, I'm going broke. Cotton Chaos is my sister-in-law and my friend Andrea's business. They will be set up as vendors at SA Live this year, too. So I have an addiction to buying their shirts as well. So feeling is mutual. Teeny tiny little stars. There we go. And my stars are not perfect. Like, look, that one looks kind of blobby. It's okay. 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 Now, if you want to kind of get the visual effect, go ahead and stack it and take a look at what it's going to look like. That looks great so far. We don't have to paint this outer part. All that's going to be covered up by this next layer. Okay. So don't worry about that. Just set it to the side. Now we're going to paint our sled. Put the gold away for a moment. Stephanie loves all those ideas. What color do I need? I like to paint the back part of the sled a darker brown. So I'm going to use dark chocolate for that. I saw some people requesting nativity. I'm probably not going to do a nativity set for a couple of reasons. And I'll be honest with you, our family, we are Christians, but we do not celebrate Christmas as the birth of Christ, simply because we don't believe that the Bible commands it or gives authority for it. And so we're just kind of careful to not observe that as a religious holiday. Plus, I know a lot of people may not observe that as a religious holiday. And so I feel like I would be isolating a lot of people by doing a religious set. I don't mind doing like the countryside Christmas with like a church featured because that's something you would see as you're driving through the countryside. But it doesn't have to be really like the whole set would be religious if I did nativity. And so not only does it not align with like my beliefs around Christmas, but it also wouldn't align with, some of my customers' beliefs. So I probably will stay away from doing a nativity set. We do sell nativity door hangers in our shop. So if that's something you're interested in, you could do that. But as far as these ornament sets, we probably won't do a nativity set for these. And that's why. And I know a lot of you probably don't agree with that, and that's okay. But that's just a personal conviction of mine, is that I feel like, we are to remember Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for us every first day of the week, and we are to, be thankful for that. But we aren't necessarily commanded to celebrate like his birth, or to focus on his birth. Not that we shouldn't celebrate his birth. It was amazing that he came to earth and sacrificed himself for us. But the focus that the Bible puts on it is his death, burial, and resurrection. So that's what I like to focus on. Laura said, I love the new ornaments. Thank you. Questions, comments? Farm animals in a barnyard. I did think about an animal or a woodland theme. I like that idea. Can you use Sharpie markers for the small details? Yes, I believe so. I don't think there would be any reason not to be able to do that. Early truck honking up. Oh, they're honking at my dogs, I bet. My dogs always get in the way of the drivers. Let me put a coat on this, and then I'm going to check the comments again. This is a lighter color of brown, which actually this feels too light. I might have to mix a little bit of that milk chocolate, because I don't want it to be too different. Like that feels too different. So let's mix in a little bit, kind of do both colors. I just want the back part of the sled to be a little darker because it's in the background. So I'm going to blend those two colors together, the sable brown and the milk chocolate. It kind of lightens it up with the sable brown. Okay, let's see what that contrast looks like. That still feels too different. Let me try this. Just a little bit. I didn't want to dry it all the way because I still want to blend it a little bit. Let me get some more of the darker brown. Now let's see. That feels a little better. It might look darker too when it's dry. Okay, Sue has had experience with Sharpies and resin. She said Sharpie will run in the resin, so do not do that. I didn't have experience with that, so thank you for sharing your advice on that aspect. Do you seal each layer individually before you resin? I have never done that. Is that recommended? Someone told me otherwise the white will yellow. That may depend on the type of resin that you're using. I use the Art Resin brand. I've never had problems with it yellowing yet. I don't know. Any of y'all have that? Have y'all ever had that problem? Christmas tree farm sounds fun. My mom even suggested like a Sue said I'm part of Cindy's group. Resin is my life. My mom even suggested like a theme around like Christmas carols. So something like that. How old is your daughter now? She is 10. Haven't watched you in a few years. So glad I found you again. Who is that? Donna, thank you so much for dropping in and saying hi. I've been here all along. I did lose my original Facebook page, got hacked back in spring of 2024. So make sure you're following my new Facebook page. It's just called Southern Adornments. I had to change, like drop the decor part so I would be able to distinguish between old page and new page. But it's Southern Adornments. And then I'm also on YouTube. I'm here on TikTok. Still going strong, still painting door hangers all the time. My daughter Charlie, she's 10 now. 5th grade. Can you believe it? When I started this business, she was a baby. I was pregnant with her when I started the business, and she would follow me around all the time, wanting to do what I'm doing, paint what I'm painting. And she is more excited, I think, about SA Live next week than I am. She is on cloud 9. You like the Christmas Carol themes, Brandy? Okay, let's paint the rails of our sled. I'm just using a gray for that. Most of these right now, I'm just dipping out of the lid because I know I don't need a whole lot. Whoops, I just made a mess. Hold on. Accidentally got it on the sled. Let's water it off here with a wet paintbrush. I'm clumsy. Okay, back to painting the sled rails. I feel like I lost my whole train of thought. What were we talking about? That is so sweet that she loves doing that with you. Yeah, and at SA Live next week, we're going to be doing a denim fashion show. So everybody that's coming is encouraged to paint something denim to wear on day 1. I am painting a pair of blue jeans. Charlie's going all out. She wants to paint jeans and her denim jacket. And last night we had her clothes out on the dining room table and we were drawing on them with chalk to kind of map out the idea of what we wanted. And she has a whole plan in mind for what she wants hers to look like. And so she's very creative. She after school every day, almost every day, she goes to her room and paints. She was in her room painting just yesterday. She loves painting. She's very crafty, creative, and I hope it keeps up because I would love for her to take over the business one day and kind of be the front person of the business. Not saying that I would completely retire. I don't know that I ever could, but I would love for her to be able to kind of take over and enjoy being the face of the business. Okay, I'm doing little details on the sled. Wait, there's a little detail back here, like this, and then around this part of the sled. There's like a little laser outline, so you could kind of trace that with like a gold pen or something. I'm just using gold paint and a teeny tiny little brush and tracing a little gold sort of trim on the sled. We're doing karaoke at SA Live at the island resort where everyone is staying on Friday night. And Charlie is already planning out what song we're going to sing. She wants us to do a mother daughter duet. So I'm thinking we might sing some Lori Morgan together. And I know some of y'all are like, bro, how does that child even know who Lori Morgan is? Y'all, I have done my duty in making sure she knows who the women of 90s country really are. She loves Winona, Reba, Dolly, Lori Morgan, Terry Clark. She knows all of those. Let's see. Yeah, I have pictures over on my Facebook page if you want to check that out on my Tamara Bennett Facebook page. You'll also see her in my stories from time to time too. The Judds, yes, she loves the Judds. I love the Judds more than she loves the Judds, but um, yeah, the Judds are my favorite too. I say 90s country. Some of that's even like 80s country. It's going way back. Painting a little white bow on the bag here. We're almost to the finish line, and then we're going to assemble this. You'll get to see what the whole thing looks like all stacked up. Thank you, Renee. Missy said, I decorate with Christmas moose and Christmas mice. those are, I've never heard of anybody doing that. That's so specific. Well done, Mama. Um, let's see, Christmas Carol themes. You like that? I have got the link to these ornament kits pinned down below. So if you're just now tuning in, you can grab this kit for $65. It comes with video tutorials, supply list, packet of resin, and all the wood pieces that you're going to need to complete all 4 ornaments. I'll show you all 4 ornaments again up close in a moment once we get done. Okay, we have to paint the top of this one because look, when we stack them like this, this part is exposed, but the rest of it's covered up. So we're only going to paint the outer ring of this one, and then we'll paint the top of this part here. And I'm going to paint it gold, like my example ones here. So once they're all resin, once the resin dries and everything, I come around and paint red on the back and the sides, and I paint gold all the way around here too. So once the resin dries, you're not exactly done painting. There is some touch up that has to be done. It's a whole process, but it's very fun. And if you enjoy painting, it can be very therapeutic and relaxing to kind of just do some Christmas crafting and just enjoy how relaxing it is. Okay, there's the gold top. Now I'm going to get the red. I'm using Tuscan Red by Deco Art. This has become like my new favorite red paint. I love it so much. Let's see. Sue said on TikTok, I did your ornament kit last year. It was fun and so rewarding and finished. Well, we have new ones this year. That's the ones I'm doing right now. We're currently painting this guy right here. It's an elf loading a sled, but there's also Santa and his list. There's an elf painting a reindeer, or I mean a rocking horse, and then there's reindeer in the barn. So lots of really cute themes. Okay, here's the top layer. So we've got to paint this outer part of this top layer red. Just go around and around. We will have some of these ornament kits at our at SA Live next week. For those of you who are coming in person, you will be able to shop these in the vendor booth. We will have limited quantities, of course, but as long as you're shopping that first day when you get there, you should be able to get one. Okay. That may need another coat, so let's dry it real quick. Thank you for sprinkling the love, Laura. I appreciate you. Again, if you're watching on the Jingle and Mingle group, don't forget to enter the giveaway. And Miss Pam Coxwell's going live in about 20 minutes. Thank you, Angela. She said, super cute kit. Gail said, I'm watching on YouTube now in my living room, commenting on my phone. Well, I'm glad you're here, Gail. Priscilla said, what's the name of the red? Tuscan Red. Ooh, Nutcracker theme. That would be fun. Yes, we love Shania Twain too. Thank you for all the ideas. I'm going to come back through the comments later and write all these down for next year or for all the years to come. Maybe eventually we can get all those themes in one after the other. Do one more quick coat on this red. And then after I do the red, I go through and I put glitter on it. So I'll show you that process. And I do polka dots. So it turns out looking really beautiful. Okay, the red that I use is Craft Twinkles. Y'all have this one? Craft Twinkles Christmas Red. It has a little bit of gold and silver mixed in with the red, so it's different. Rinse that red out of my brush. Christmas at the beach. My aunt used to live in Florida. She probably would have liked that one. Are there any more virtual kits left? No, we are all sold out at the moment. What was that silver gray color? It was slate gray. Now let's put the glitter on top of the red. If you don't need to hold your ornament pieces still while you paint, you could put some painter's tape down, sticky side up on the table, kind of tape it to your table and lay all your pieces on top of it. I just tend to like move them around like this and pick them up. So I end up with paint all over my hands. Okay, we're gonna let that dry for a second. Questions? Anybody else questions on TikTok? How do you enter the giveaway? I have it linked up in the video description, right above the video here. It's also linked in the featured tab of the Jingle and Mingle Facebook group. So no matter where you're watching from, you should be able to grab it in the video description. Holographic illusions. I don't know that I have that one, Crystal. Let's try this. Here's a look at each of the ornament kits. Well, I shouldn't have zoomed it out, so that way I don't have to hold them up so high. We've got the reindeer in the barn. You'll have to let me know which is your favorite. Reindeer, elf painting the rocking horse, Santa in his list, or elf loading the sleigh. For me, it's a toss-up between these two. These two are probably my favorite. I like the dimensionalness of this one, but I really like the fence and the deer on this one. It's hard to pick. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue it together before we do the little polka dots, because I won't be able to touch it once I put the dots on. So we're going to go ahead and glue this together. Yes. Okay. I was looking. I was like, did I do all the steps? I think I did. So this is just super glue with, it's like a gel super glue. We're going to glue this to the back piece. So you're going to do this with each ornament. I'm going to align it so I can see most of the stars behind him. Kind of line up the edges so that it matches up and kind of press down. Do you paint the inside edges? I do not. I do paint the outside edges once it's all done, once the resin dries. Uh-oh. I super glued my finger to the edge. Ow. Y'all, I'm so clumsy. I'm sure that I'm not the first one to do that. I hate the feeling of super glue on my fingers too. It's awful. Okay, let's put another one down. This time I'm only going to go around the outer edge of the ornament because that little sleigh there is not necessarily going to touch everything on the back. Well, I guess it probably will. We could put a little on the back of the sleigh. I'm just kind of careful not to put glue all over the back of something if I don't know it's going to touch something behind it, because some of it just kind of hovers or floats over the thing. You're going to align the top of this to get this next piece on. Align this piece here. The reindeer's your favorite? Almost glued my fingers again. Laura says, I usually watch on Facebook, but after someone commenting they were watching on YouTube, I turned it on there. I bet you can see a lot better when it's on your TV. Cindy likes Santa with his list. Priscilla likes reindeer. Donna says it's so hard to pick. I like them all. Ooh, Lisa said we could do a theme around cardinals. That would be pretty. Thank y'all for all the great suggestions. Okay, let's do the top layer now. We're just going to go around this outer rim. Just a bead, small bead of super glue. Lay this down. Now here you're going to try to align the sled pieces so that the rails of the sled are parallel to one another. You want them to look like they're parallel. And also you'll align like the back part of the sled right here. I almost got it off a bit. Like the back piece of the sled here will perfectly line up. The snowman theme. I've thought about that too. You don't know where the video is for the giveaway. Oh, Colette, you'll have to come over to Facebook or YouTube. I have it linked there in the video description. It's in a Facebook group called the Jingle Mingle. Can't link it on TikTok, unfortunately. Okay, now that we have it all put together, let's do the dots on. Actually, let me show you one more thing. This is the next step before you can put the resin on. Where is my tape? You're going to need painter's tape. So I teach you all of this in the video. And we're not going to do the resin live today. I did it live a couple Tuesdays ago when I painted with you guys. So if you want to watch the replay to that, it's linked in the, it's pinned to the top of my Facebook page, and it's also on YouTube. You can watch me pour the resin in. Today, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to have time. But I do tape around the edges. And I always say it like this. Resin is kind of like an octopus. It will find the tiniest little crack or pinhole and figure a way to escape. And so I don't want resin running out the edges of this and getting all over the place. I want to contain it. Those scissors are no good. Let's do these scissors. So I go through here, I cut little tabs on my tape, and I wrap this tape all the way around the back. That way the resin has nowhere to go. It cannot escape. Ignore the numbers written on the back of this. This was kind of like a prototype that Michael cut out, and he had like all of his laser numbers information written on the back. So there we go. That way the resin can't escape. It can't come out the little sides here. Now we're going to take a paintbrush, dip it in white, the bottom of our paintbrush, and we're just going to do some little dots all the way around. I do usually 2 or 3 dots, and I kind of like that the more dots you do, the smaller they get. I like the variety of size. So I do like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they get tiny the more you keep going. It creates this cute little pattern where the dots range in size. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Looky how cute. Here's what it looks like. TikTok. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for painting with me today. If you want to create your own beautiful set of collectible heirloom quality ornaments, grab your kit down below. I have pinned it for you so it's easy to find. I've also put it up in the video description. And so you can create these at home following my video tutorials. Comes with everything you need except the paint and brushes. So grab your kit down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.